correct that the IRS estimates that it collected $688 billion less by the tax filing deadline than taxpayers legally owed in tax year 2021? And I think Dr. Sarin or Dr. Hendren?
That's correct.
That's correct numbers. No, I'm the son of a mechanic, and my father always said, I sure am glad that I get to pay taxes, because there's been times in life when I didn't earn enough money to owe any. And he was very proud of contributing to the national effort, participating in the services our nation provides, be it law and order, the court system, the transportation system, fundamental humanitarian services to support families' success and so forth. I just heard the allegation that collecting taxes due is punishing success. Is it punishment of success to enforce the tax code?
Absolutely not, Senator Merkley. And I'll just say that outside of the IRS building, there's a quote from Oliver Wendell Holmes that say that taxes are the price we pay for a civilized society. And I feel very deeply with your father's sentiment. And I think that's frankly what the American people feel as well.
Well, I certainly believe that it undermines that sense of fairness and participation if the best off among us have full permission to cheat and not pay their share. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, very much so. And in fact, ordinary Americans are automatically paying all that they owe. Their taxes are withheld. It's just those at the top of the distribution who earn income in opaque ways that have the opportunity to evade.
So, colleagues across the aisle have proposed not enforcing the tax code with the richest Americans. They want to let them cheat. Is that good for America?
Me to take it? I guess I get to take it. You know, I think it's a very inefficient thing to do. Our work suggests that we can get back, as I said before, $12 for every dollar that we put in to IRS enforcement, and that makes it even a more efficient way of raising revenue relative to other sources of like tax rates.
And Senator Merkley, as you point out, it's not just a matter of revenue raising, though it is 3% of GDP that we're losing each year in uncollected taxes, but it's also this matter of like fundamental fairness, that the laws should apply. I believe, I'm a law professor, I believe very strongly in the rule of law. The laws should apply across the income distribution, and it shouldn't be that the wealthy and large profitable corporations have at their disposal tools to evade that the rest of the American people do not.
So that 3% of GDP that should be collected under the rules means we have to borrow that additional amount. Is borrowing more in order to let the wealthiest off the hook good for America?
It's not, and neither, frankly, is raising taxes that are only going to be borne by the share of taxpayers that are complying with their tax obligations. So as we think about how to deal with our growing deficits and our debt problem, it strikes me that the lowest hanging fruit has to be collecting the taxes that are already owed by taxpayers who today are at the top of the distribution, are doing the best, and just aren't paying their fair share.
Well, I must say, and I live in a blue-collar community, and I think the sentiment would be universal that while we're paying our fair share, the wealthy need to pay their fair share too. And because it's not collected in advance, and that's kind of a privilege of the type of income they're earning, that in fact they need to know that they'll be held accountable. So there's an incentive to be honest up front. Unfortunately, it takes an incentive for many individuals in America who see this not as the honor of doing their share as a citizen, but see it as a game to be played to cheat the system as much as possible. And I was struck when I first went to college and started hearing fairly affluent people talking about the pride they had on having developed different tax strategies to dodge, including out-of-country strategies. And that was so contrary to the vision that I believe in of everyone doing their fair share and part for this country. So thank you all for your testimony. I hope we'll see an eruption of integrity across the board and bipartisan support for the integrity of every citizen paying their fair share, and not a strategy of trying to let the richest Americans cheat, undermining the success of the entire social contract across this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Merkley.